knowledge work is dying, and in this video I'm going to walk you through the progression of how we got to where we are and where we're going as AI starts to take more of the knowledge work type jobs. And I'm not proclaiming to know anything about the future and where things will go. This is purely a vision, and an optimistic one at that, of how we can make this transition from where we're currently at with knowledge work being the primary source of work for millions of people, to a world where AI has taken all the knowledge work jobs, but we're actually better off as a result. So let's dive right in. So we can think of this as, before machines came online, we lived in closer relationship with nature. We understood the seasonal patterns. We rose with the sun, went to sleep with sunset. We had craftspeople. We had people that were in their individual, skills that they were learning. We lived closer to our work, our family, our communities. We apprenticed with people to learn the skills that we needed to in order to make a living. And then once machines came online with the Industrial Revolution, we can kind of see right here that it's like we basically became machines. Our entire jobs were our entire humanity was destroyed because we were subject to just operating these machines for the entirety of our life. And then that transition, even as the machines got more advanced, with fluorescent lighting, the assembly line, all these things mechanized how we work. And it's no different for how we work right now. And so you can think of it like, as factories and assembly lines became the primary source of work for at least a lot of people in the United States, as well as around the globe, we basically had to work like a machine would work. We would follow the clock. We would clock in, clock out. We would work whenever the machines would be online. And it's no different from how we work right now, except that rather than going to a factory to work, we now go and clock in, clock out to our computers, and we're at the mercy of working like our computers work. But this is changing really fast. As AI can work 24/7 whenever at once, we're all going to be out of a job very soon. And this is a question I think many people are thinking about, especially in the conversations I'm having with different people in the space. And so we can think of it like this. At first, we went through this kind of physical wage slavery where our bodies were co-opted to work in factories. Then we're now in this sort of mental wage slavery where our minds are being co-opted by the knowledge work era, by digital work and digital jobs. And so we're just always online. We always, responding to emails. We're always, our attention is being extracted by social media companies, by Google. And we're left in this mental health crisis, this meaning crisis, because we're attaching our identities to these jobs, and we're basically spending our entire lives learning to be like a machine and to work, always try to output as high quality as much work as we possibly can. And so we're basically being forced to, as AI is taking all of these machine-like jobs, we're at a place where we're trying to figure out what is meaningful to us, what is wisdom, right? Because we're all just working on this constant treadmill of survival and making money. And so with that being said, I believe there's an opportunity for us as AI takes all of this machine-like mental work off of our plates. We are being asked to figure out what is meaningful again, to craft a new narrative, to craft a new story arc of our lives and the lives of the story of society writ large. And so I believe that's going to involve making connection, not just transactional relationships, but genuine relationships where we care about other people beyond what they can give us, beyond survival. And find meaning through these heroes' journey, these narrative arcs, this idea of I was here, I overcame this obstacle, etc., etc. And so when thinking about how do we actually go through this, I think there's a couple things we can do. First, audit your work. Figure out what percentage of your work feels mechanical. and what percentage of your work feels like flow and brings you alive. And we can start to see that we start to collaborate with AI to understand that, there's a certain part of our jobs that, at least for the foreseeable future, will have to be mechanical. But what we can start to do is, as we audit what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, we can start offloading some of these mechanical type jobs to AI, such that we can focus on flow state and what brings us alive more often. This can be what we're spending our time doing, and what we're optimizing for. We're optimizing for flow state. We're optimizing for a sense of aliveness rather than a sense of being like a machine. And so when we're thinking about, to kind of like take a bird's eye view of this journey, we started out as humans in coherence and harmony with nature. The Industrial Revolution mechanized and enslaved us and our bodies. The Information Revolution freed us from this physical labor type, like wage slavery, into mental wage slavery, where our minds are what is being basically extracted by this digital machine. And now AI is coming along and it's doing the information strategy side of things better, as good as humans are, and pretty soon better. And so, as the age of the mediocre machine ends, we're being asked to figure out what is it that actually makes us come alive. What is it that actually makes us, more and more human, and we're being asked to optimize for that rather than just to make more money to be more productive. Because if an AI agent can just work 24/7 as good or better than a human can, then what's the point of having a human trying to just, output spreadsheets and strategies and this and that and project management, and like there's all this stuff that will just be offloaded to AI. And in that way, I truly believe that on the other side of AI taking a lot of knowledge work type jobs, this is why I called this video the death of the knowledge worker. As the knowledge worker dies, something can be reborn on the other side of it, like a phoenix. That process of being reborn as something better will have to happen. And I believe that we have a choice to figure out what it is that will be on the other side of the death of the knowledge worker. And so I hope this was interesting to you, and some interesting food for thought.